Good morning. You've probably heard it said, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's accurate. If we tend to not have a plan, a preparation period, then we have a less chance of doing what we want to do. And there are reasons for this. If we plan, if we think about something, we've got something in our heads to work on. I used to do this all the time. Even when I lived in China, I would practice Chinese, a conversation I would have if I was going to go buy vegetables at the market. I would practice the conversation in my head before, and when I had that plan, not everything worked to plan, but I was at least ready for many of the contingencies. I was ready for some of the stuff that would come along. Now, how do you set a plan? What do we do when we talk about goals, when we talk about relationships, when we talk about anything? This works in all situations. Just like I was preparing for the vegetable market, you can prepare for a conversation with somebody, whether it's a kid or a family member, a friend, a partner, whoever that is. If you prepare a little bit and expect it to go well, that's a key part of conversations and relationships. Expect it to go well. Expect it, give the other person benefit of the doubt. But if you plan and go, this is what I'm going to say. If this person comes back, I'm going to practice this. I do this often with my clients. If they're worried about a business meeting, I'm going to be meeting with somebody just next week who's preparing for this big presentation. When we role play or when we practice things in our head beforehand, we are far more ready to go into that. But how do we plan for business? How do we plan for things that we don't know how to do? For example, I'm planning on growing my business in some fairly extravagant ways in the next little while. I'm hoping that you're planning to build your business in massive ways as well. And as you think through that, this is one of the problems, and this is what keeps people from success sometimes. We think, well, wait a second, I've got these goals, but how do I even accomplish? I don't know how to accomplish them. Well, you know what? Planning is the part where you work that out. Know that when you have goals, when you have like mission statements and visions for your life, those things are longer term, they're more set. They're not going to change as often. But with a plan can change on a dime. When you've got a plan, you're simply going, based on my knowledge at this time, this is what I'm going to try. And as you work that out, you're going to fail, you're going to succeed, you're going to have all these other things happen, and you can simply switch and analyze, fail, analyze, rework it, try again. That's the system of growth in business. Now, why else does a plan help? Well, I always put a plan for my week up on my board, and then the reason I do that is so that I can look at it and have a quick view of what I'm doing in my week. Every morning I look at my plan for the day. Why do I do that? Because it's in my head a little bit. I'm more likely to do something if I've planned it out. And not only that, if you have trouble with procrastination or whatever it is, you can far more often procrastinate far less, get far more done simply by writing out a plan. Now, of course, if you share your plan, if you want to supercharge your plan, you're going to write it out by hand. On a computer, having it in your head is one thing. If you can supercharge it a little bit more by having it somewhere. By writing it out by hand, it gets far deeper into your head. It's more of a commitment. The more time and effort and energy you spend on your plan, the more likely you are to carry it out. And then lastly, if you keep accountable to somebody, if you make it go on social media, put it out on social media that you're going to get something done and you want people to hold you accountable, you are far more likely to get it done. So that's the first step, is to plan something out, and the second is how you create some accountability or some just a way to have people remind you of something. That makes a big difference as well. I'm sure that you've got lots of questions about plans. I spend lots of times on plans myself. If you do have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Plans, though, are this key part. We know where we are. We know where we want to go. The plan is that middle part, that section where we go, what needs to happen? What do we need to put in place in order to get there? And this is the last thing I'll say about plans before I go, because this might be getting a little bit long. But one fantastic thing to have about a plan is to think about where am I? If you're measuring it, go where am I? Am I at a point where if I continue on my current trajectory, on my current path, I'm going to reach my goals? Am I falling behind? Am I getting ahead? Do I need to plan some other things? Constantly analyze, fail forward fast. Have a great time doing it. And as you do this, you will constantly get better. Here's the quick action step for today. All I want you to do, Monday morning, first day of the week, what I want you to do is spend at least 15 minutes, Monday when you first get to your office or when you first get to work or even before that, spend 15 minutes planning out your week, a few of the major things you want to get done, and try to keep it less than 3 or less. 3 major things you want to get done or less. Focus on those 3. If you get those done, it'll be a successful week and you will enjoy the process.